Fire races through the old clock factory in New Haven, leaving 2 people injured. One is in critical condition tonight.
Shortly after firefighters arrived, an unidentified man was found trapped on a fire escape. As firefighters climbed a ladder to get to the victim, it collapsed, sending 3 firemen to the ground.
Aerial ladders. When used and maintained as intended, they are effective tools in firefighting and rescue. But under certain conditions, aerial ladders can and do fail.
Fire department aerials have been failing because of operator error, overloading, and bypassing the interlock systems.
They've been operating these ladders at very low elevations, at full extension, many times flowing water with several men on the ladder. And this has overloaded the devices and has caused failure.
It takes serious training and preparation to effectively use an aerial ladder, not only by the firefighter climbing it, but by the person at the controls. Reading and understanding the manufacturer's instructions is only the beginning.
All aerial devices that are in manufacture today have a rated tip load, which the manufacturer has put on the ladder. Operators should, without any question, pay very close attention to what the manufacturers say.
In addition to following the manufacturer's guidelines for tip load or weight limits, it's important to know the elevation limits and to stay within the recommended operating range. Many aerial accidents happen when ladder elevation is low, as this position causes the greatest stress on the ladder, base rails, handrails, and truss members. Another key to safer operation of aerial ladders is in understanding what dead load, live load, and dynamic load mean.
This tape measure represents an aerial ladder. The dead load, no weight upon the structure at all. When we add these weights, we have a live load. Live load is weight from personnel, their equipment such as fire hose, ladders, axes. When the live load moves, we have a dynamic load. If you have excessive dynamic loading, you can have a failure. Dynamic loading drastically increases the amount of stress in an aerial ladder structure.
Certain factors on the ground influence the action or movement of the ladder in the air. In particular, extending the outriggers. If these are not properly extended to firm footing, the aerial may become unstable.
In a lot of these cases, what has happened is the operator, primarily the mechanic, has taken the unit out to work on it and has overridden the interlock system on the outriggers. They have put the outriggers straight down, but without extending the outriggers. Thus, while they were working on the aerial, forgetting that they did not extend the outriggers, they rotated the aerial ladder and causing the ladder to tip over. People who are operating these devices should not override the interlocks and should make very sure that they follow all the manufacturer's instructions.
Included in those instructions is a suggested maintenance program to help keep devices in top working condition. And to assist fire department mechanics in aerial ladder preventive maintenance, the International Association of Fire Chiefs offers a mechanic certification program.
By participating in this program, departments will be able to establish a good maintenance program for their aerial apparatus.
Along with maintenance, routine inspections and testing can lead to safer operation of aerial ladders.
It's very important to have your aerial tested because a lot of damage occurs to aerials just through over-the-road travel.
Inactivity or minimal use can also lead to damage of aerial ladders.
Just because your aerial isn't used at an active fire doesn't mean you have a clean bill of health. Damage such as hydraulic hose deterioration, dry rot, internal damage to seals and cylinders can occur over years of sitting.
The industry standard for aerial ladders is NFPA 1914. It calls for an annual inspection of the devices and provides detail on testing and procedures. Underwriters Laboratories, the company whose UL mark is known internationally as a symbol of safety, lent its expertise to developing NFPA 1914. The standard serves as the foundation for safer use of aerial ladders through rigorous and detailed requirements.
you have to get the manufacturer's tolerances to conduct these tests. For example, drift testing on elevation, extension, and outrigger cylinders, the twist in the ladder, the hydraulic relief pressure, conductivity and hardness readings on aluminum devices, the rated payload of the device. All these tolerances have to be received from the manufacturer before you can test to the new 1914 standard.
Other information needed to conduct the tests includes rotation bearing maximum clearance and minimum base rail thicknesses. Testing can be demanding, and to see that it's done right, careful consideration is in store.
We can follow our manuals that come with the manufacturer's recommendations, and we can put our equipment, such as our ladder truck, through a test. But we don't get to see the intricate workings of that ladder to see if we caught everything. We can inspect it visually, but we are really an untrained eye when it comes to testing our own equipment, such as a big ladder. So we rely on outside testing sources.
UL offers a testing program for aerial ladders that is backed by experience and professionalism.
We have extensive field crews in all parts of the country to conduct this test work.
We are very careful to make sure that all points are covered, that our technicians are well trained, that all reports are reviewed by engineers. UL has the most comprehensive testing program in the country today.
Along with field testing, factory testing of aerial ladders is important to determine that newly delivered apparatus meets NFPA 1914 before being placed in service. Regular testing of aerial ladders, combined with rigorous training, routine maintenance, and conscientious operation, can help prevent aerial ladder accidents.
My life is on the line. I don't want to be a victim. I'm going to go rescue a victim, and if I'm not prepared or my equipment isn't ready, I can end up being a victim myself.
Prepare yourself and your aerial ladder. Train, maintain, test, and operate safely.